Hey everybody, it's Jamie the Crafty DIY Guy and Otis. Welcome to our channel. Right, buddy? He's so cute. Hey everybody, okay, in today's video we have some fall DIY. I'm calling them pre-fall DIYs because honestly a lot of the stuff that we're going to be doing, while yes, they definitely have a fall twist to them, they are items that you could easily also make for other seasons. You could even make these very kind of normal and everyday even. For example, one of the items that I'm doing in this video incorporates potpourri. So you could use a different kind of potpourri and make a similar type of DIY. Now, I'm really excited about today's video because all of the items are kind of a mix. Some of them are from Dollar Tree, some of them are things that I grabbed from Michael's. Some of them are reusing old Dollar Tree fall stuff, so like fall decor from last year that you could easily go into your stash and redo and revamp and, you know, kind of get yourself in that mood. It's fall DIY season now, and even if you don't want to do any fall DIYs right now to decorate with, you may want to start grabbing some of that stuff and pulling it aside, putting it in your craft room, you know, in a special drawer or something. Or like I said, even if you're in the mood for fall, but your store hasn't got a lot of fall merchandise in yet, then you can very, very easily go and grab some of this stuff and start making some stuff. And Otis and I think that this stuff is pretty cool. Now, before we jump into that, of course, I want to say thank you to all my subscribers. You know, you guys know who you are. I call you OGs and all kinds of things, but thank you so much for being here. Otis and I appreciate it so much. All right, let's get into that video. Right, buddy? Oh, my sweet boy. He just ate, so he's chilling. He's such a good boy. I love you. All right, let's get into the video now. Oh, my next DIY is going to incorporate these two MDF rings that I picked up from Hobby Lobby and also this oversized bag of potpourri that had all these great gourds and pine cones and all this great stuff in it. Now, for my two rings here, I'm going to first glue those together. I'm just using some Surebonder wood glue. I figured with the MDF that would actually be really good and hold these in place where I needed them to kind of stay. But I'm also going to go through with some electrical tape and just wrap that around the two rings where I did add that hot glue. That way everything is nice and secure and I have a really good strong bond before I start making my wreath. Now, once I had those two rings secured, it was time to start decorating those rings. To do that potpourri, I am going to just use this Dollar Tree bucket, and I literally just empty the potpourri and the contents inside of there. As you will see, this potpourri has all kinds of great little things in there. Not only are there leaves and different colored pine cones, but there's little pumpkins, there's orange slices, there's cinnamon sticks, there's wood slices, and there's a lot of cool variation. And I wanted to be able to just kind of lay everything out and really see how everything is going to be. Now, I just literally started adding pine cones to this. Now, the pine cones at first, after I kind of laid it out and played with it, I thought that it probably should have a base of some leaves or something first. So I went to my stash, I grabbed 2 packages of these Dollar Tree leaves, and then I started kind of separating the leaves from the floral stems themselves and then trimming them down and then literally adding those leaves to the 2 rings, trying to keep the integrity of the 2 rings and making sure that you can see the 2 rings, but kind of covering them up with a woodland feel, if you will, with those leaves. And then once everything was done, then I went back through and I started adding my pine cones and my gourds and everything until I had a project that looked like this. Now, I'm almost done with this one. The next thing I'm going to do is then just add a simple bow. I grabbed this one from Amazon because you guys know I'm not too great at making bows sometimes, and I'm really happy with the way that this looks. You could certainly reposition it if you wanted to. You could put that bow on the left side of the wreath and have your rings kind of shooting out, but either way, super happy with the way that this one turned out. And for my next DIY, I'm going to be taking one of these wood grain chargers that I picked up from Dollar Tree and this oversized deer head stencil from Hobby Lobby, as well as some Waverly ink chalk paint. For the stencil itself, I'm just going to tape this over top of on top of the tray. My original idea was that this was going to lay much flatter because I thought that I'd be able to take my heat gun out and kind of manipulate the stencil. But unfortunately what happened was, you can see it starting to curl there in the upper right hand corner. The heat gun was just way too hot for it. So after I took the heat away, then I just simply used some masking tape and just made sure that when I was using my stenciling brush, I was just going in up and down motions versus going left to right. That way it does help keep some of the stencil intact and doesn't get all over the place. Now, when it was done, I simply added some of these floral picks that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. I did think it needed a little bit of something. I didn't want to add a bow to it because I love the pumpkin detail that I did in the middle. So I took this nautical rope and I'm using that as an outline on my tray wreath. That way, I'm hopefully giving everybody something that they love and something that's super easy to make. And again, I'm pretty happy with this one. Now, my last DIY is actually going to incorporate some of these projects from last year that I never actually ended up using. I'm also going to be using some of this scrapbook paper that you see behind me. I'm going to take a sheet of sandpaper from Dollar Tree and I'm just going to be sanding away until all of the jewelry is gone. And then for the actual DIY itself, I'm going to go ahead and just trace around the end of it. And the reason why I'm doing that is because this is going to be a very simple cut. It's not going to be something that's super complicated. If you wanted to paint your pumpkins, by all means, go for it. I don't think it's necessary. I am just literally going right on the brown lines and cutting these away. It's literally that simple. Now I'm going to take some Mod Podge and I'm just going to put a nice thick coating of it on my pumpkin here. And once I have that done, I've just glued individual sheets and everything is complete. Now for the bow at the top, I didn't want to reuse the previous kind of raffia bow. I thought this twine rather was so much better. So I created several of these little bow ties and I am just going to add a dot of glue right at the top of the stem and just glue each one of those little bow ties into place. I am obsessed with these. I love these so much. I did glue my 3 blocks together, but you could certainly keep them separate if you wanted to. I thought originally I was going to make a sign that said like fall or something like that, but I kind of like the simplicity of these, honestly. I love the patterns, first of all. I love the color combination, and it was all included in this larger bundle of great plaids and ginghams. But anyway, this is what it looks like on my bookshelf. I really am happy with these. All right, everybody, Otis and I want to know what your favorite DIY was in today's video, so be sure and let me know in the comments below. Also, be sure to follow me on TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and all the other ones. And I think pretty soon we're going to get Otis an Instagram channel too. What do you guys think about that? Let me know what you think about that too. All right, guys, take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.